death and hail the Grim Reaper as you live yourself to death on planet Earth. The war on terror is fake, says someone you might actually believe. In the UK, snowfall causes national skiving and a convenient news blackout. Hello, life on Earth. Welcome to the fucking news. I'm just passing through. Here are the headlines tonight. War, famine, plague, pestilence, murder, flood, drought, and choking on a sausage. Global warming, nuclear winter, societal collapse, and being hit by a bus. There are many ways to die, and one of them will eventually get you. It has been claimed that two things are inevitable in life: debt and taxes. Death and taxes. We're all familiar with the tax part of that, but death remains a frightening and mysterious prospect for many. Few events exert such a powerful influence compared to the knowledge or denial of our own mortality. Will I die? How will I die? When will I die? Tonight we'll be putting some of these questions to the main man of fatality, the Lord of Bucket Kicking, leader of the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, the Grim Reaper himself, Death. Hello, Death. Nice to have you with us.
My pleasure passing through.
Death, you're a busy imaginary being, so I'll get straight to the point. Why do we die?
Actually, very few of you die. Most of you will kill yourselves or be killed by others. It's not my place to give advice, but it wouldn't hurt to exercise a bit and stop eating so much shit.
I see. But even if we do that, we still die, right?
Oh yes, you're all mine eventually. Nothing and nobody lives forever. That would be boring. Most humans are dullards, without the imagination to keep themselves entertained. Knowing you will die puts vitality into your life. Nobody wants to see a planet full of boring old farts, scratching their arse for eternity. So, whoop it up, fleshy ones, and enjoy it while you can. And try to face me without regret. I'm sick of humans bargaining for their life when it's over. I'll play chess for my life, or poker, or some other rubbish. It's all me with humans. It's not enough they get to experience the awe and wonder of universe as the most sentient and potentially intelligent being ever created by nature. No, they want to go on living so they can waste some more time as self-serving morons, feeding their faces and shitting out iPods.
So, what about large-scale deaths? You and the other horsemen are famous for your big parties. Can we expect another one soon?
Well, I can't say too much. Things have been a bit quiet since the Second World War and Spanish influenza before that. We're all still kept busy, but you can't beat the feeling of harvesting millions or billions of souls at a time. Call me a traditionalist, call me old-fashioned, but I love a good famine.
Is that a bit of a clue? Billions of deaths. How will you manage that when humans appear to be so well organized?
Don't make me laugh. Remember, we just collect you. We don't cause your death. Humans create all the circumstances necessary for massive death. None of you appear to have worked out the food-air sum. You just keep squirting out humans as if McDonald's will feed every fucking one of them. Not to mention your self-destructive nature and the hosts of maniacal leaders armed with nuclear weapons and a fervent belief in the afterlife.
I'm glad you mentioned the afterlife. It's the number one question people have about death. What does happen after life?
Well, I wouldn't want to spoil the surprise. So, let me just say this. After your life is over, it's exactly like before it began. Whatever that was.
Thanks, Death. Before you go, can you just give us some idea what you and the gang will be up to in the near future?
War will be with you always. Sponsored by the world's biggest business. He's on a non-stop world tour, and the gigs just keep getting bigger. He's coming soon and taking your children with him on the bus. Pestilence will strike you down and spread across the globe. The bird flu album may have flopped, but look out for some new material that will take your breath away. famine, the inevitable consequence of war, pestilence, and IMF loans forcing you to grow cash crops to pay the interest. Famine, the last takeaway you'll ever have, with death picking up the bill. Death, your final destination, the Grim Reaper, the meaning of life, your past and your future. Be seeing you.
In a totally related story, the War on Terror, a righteous crusade against merciless religious extremists dedicated to the downfall of the West, or a total fabrication used to usher in draconian laws of intrusion, loss of civil liberties, massive financing of the military, murder of innocent women and children, support for unelected tyrannical regimes around the world. What if it was all a lie? And what if someone you might actually believe pointed this out? Step forward, Paul Craig Roberts, an economist who served in the Reagan administration, earning fame as the father of Reaganomics, a former editor and columnist for the Wall Street Journal, a graduate of the Georgia Institute of Technology and a postgraduate of the University of California, Berkeley and Oxford. He says, and I quote, "The war on terror is a hoax that fronts for American control of oil pipelines in the Middle East, the profits of the military security complex, the assault on civil liberty by fomenters of a police state, and Israel's territorial expansion. There was no Al-Qaeda in Iraq till the Americans bought them there by invading and overthrowing Saddam Hussein. The only Americans threatened by the Taliban are the ones Bush sent to Afghanistan to kill the Taliban and impose a puppet state on the Afghan people. What Americans and Israelis call terror is the response of oppressed people who are stateless because their countries are ruled by puppets. These people, dispossessed of their own countries, have no state departments, no defense departments, no seat in the United Nations or voice in the mainstream media. Israel and the United States carry on endless propaganda to prevent this being realized. The unsupported assertion that Iran supplies arms to the Palestinians is exactly the same assertion about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. These assertions are propagandistic justifications for killing Arab civilians and destroying civilian infrastructure in order to secure US and Israeli hegemony in the Middle East. Get off the fence, Paul. What do you really mean? In the UK, a few days of winter snow have obscured all news reporting on all major news networks. News editors were overjoyed by the snow since it made producing bland, uninformed gobshite for the masses a piece of pie. Endless hours of live reports from snowy fields and villages where Mrs. Smith has nearly run out of milk obviate the need for critical reporting of planet rape, corporate greed, the rule of despots, the decline of capitalism, the thieving of Earth's remaining resources by armed thugs, and anything else that might alert the masses to their continued slavery and poverty adjustment. Let it snow. Thanks, and now the weather. Death stalks all life on Earth, motivating mumbo-jumbo voodoo belief, creative vitality, and stopping old people from bothering us. The war on terror will continue a little longer in the West, despite the truth, the facts, and the obvious. And the outlook for the future. Seasonal weather will be seized upon by lying scum to cover up reality and shape your consciousness. Have a nice weekend!